Golf's no different from hockey. Requires talent, self-discipline.
Golf requires goofy pants and a fat ass. You should talk to my neighbor, the accountant, probably a great golfer, huge ass.
How do you measure yourself with other golfers? By height.
It's a very, very special honor.
I'm Paula Creamer, and you're listening.
Well, we're waiting.
Hi, this is Martin Cove, a.k.a. John Kreese from Cobra Kai, and you're listening to
Quiet Please.
Let the word go out from here across the land. Let Daddy Noonan approve.
Hi, boys. Nice day for golf, ain't it? Quiet, please. Oh, you got secrets, eh?
Hey, this is Shooter McGavin. You're listening to the...
Hey, you guys. Hey, we're trying to have a podcast over here.
Indeed, we are. Welcome to another episode of Quiet Please to Golf podcast. I am Alan Depew, and you have found the show where we all gather around our virtual couch and debate the latest topics, bringing you also about information about the men and women shaping the game. And as always, I am joined by my illustrious co-host, hails from Boston by way of Bourbon Country, Boston Bob Baldessari. Greetings, Bobby.
What's up, dudes?
What up? And don't be that guy, but he is that guy, Andy Hydorn.
Hello, fellas.
And I didn't expect him to be here tonight, but BE is in the house and he's coming and he's got receipts. Brendan Elliott, greetings.
I had an 18th hole that I was writing down as I was winding down when I got home, so I said I got to come on.
All right, so my 18th hole. Let me get this out of the way here real quick by saying, as always, if you are watching us on YouTube, Facebook, or our Instagram channel, we love some commentary. And so anyway, please chime in, keep it clean. And Andy, I'm going to allow you don't know this, but I'm dumping it in your hat because our Instagram feed is down right now, and I have to figure out why it's down. So what we got?
You want to know from me what we got?
I got a topic.
Go ahead. Wow. Go ahead, B. Thank God you made it then.
How about everything that Good Golf is doing with having the fall event on the PGA Tour season? They're kind of helping revive Big Break on Golf Channel. I mean, I was doing some research on them, and they just got like a $45 million investment or something recently, like 5 or 6 months ago. And is it Peyton Manning? Is it Peyton Manning has a media business or company? I think he's involved with it. But man, I'm telling you, that's right. I'm telling you, this is like, I've written about this several times about that part of the game, the social influencers and how Bryson's been dipping his toe in it. But I really think this is kind of that. We saw a little bit of it with, the tour embracing having the guys play at the TPC and at the Tour Championship. But I really think this is going to be a big thing because of those things and what's going to happen next year. And I couldn't be more thrilled. I just think those guys do a lot for the game.
What's the Big Break news? I haven't heard that.
So Golf Channel is bringing that back, which I love that show. I watched every season.
The Big Break was incredible.
Yeah, there was obviously some great stories. Yeah.
Yeah, Good. They're part of it. Yeah, they were part of the reviving it and kind of bringing it back. I don't know if they put money towards it, but it'll be coming back next year.
I don't know if people remember, but that's where Tony Finau made his.
Right. Yeah. Yep.
Burst on the scene.
It's kind of interesting they're bringing that back while the tour is trying to get smaller. So all these feel-good stories might not. I keep wondering, Brendan, our media guy here, WWDJD. What would Dan Jenkins think or do with all this stuff going on right now?
Well, I didn't really follow him too much. I would lean on you guys to see what you would think that he would think about all this.
I think he would be amused and amazed. The role that these influencers are doing. I think he would. So if anybody doesn't know, he he started his career media-wise, really writer-wise in Texas, Dallas. He was covering Byron Nelson's and Ben Hogan's back in the day. And then he became this, one of the more iconic golf writers out there, wrote some books, did some things that in the golf circles are a pretty big deal. So he's this, I don't know if you put him on the Mount Rushmore of golf writers, but he's right up there. So, in sardonic, sarcastic at times, just like one of those kind of guys, writer-wise, right, Andy? I mean,
yeah, he was very comic.
Dead solid, perfect.
Yeah.
Love that book.
Yep.
Oh, that's his book.
That's his book.
That they made the movie off of. The HBO made a movie. Yeah.
What are those geese doing over there? They're supposed to be on 12. Sorry, didn't mean to. I'm just happy to be back. Instagram's live again. So
nice.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was just really cool to see that those guys are going to have. I mean, that's a big deal for them to get a brand new event in the fall series next year for the tour. It's phenomenal.
That's big money because you've got operational things. You've got to pay for TV coverage. I mean, that's a big nut you got to crack. So when I saw that,
I could be wrong, but I think it's are they in Dallas? Is that where they're headquartered? I believe so. But I think that's where the tournament's going to be.
Yeah.
I think it's just to chime in. My thought is it's great to solidify the tour with the influencers, because it was this year. We talked about it earlier on another episode earlier this year about how coverage and consumption of content now exceeds the PGA tours. The tour had to embrace it. There was no other way. Look at what Bryson's doing and what some of these other people that are out there doing. It was inevitable.
Yeah. Can I say this though, that the one thing that I don't know, I feel like the good thing I think is great, because first and foremost, those guys can all play golf, right? I think the general influencer on the golf course thing is a kind of a dead end deal. Like they had that waste management week event this year where they had guys playing in that thing that had maybe only played one round of golf before in their life. Like, I just don't think at the end of the day people are going to care to watch that, but they will care to watch, the Garretts and the
Grant Horvats and
and the kid from Oklahoma, I forget his name, the kid who played for University of Oklahoma went pretty far in the USAM. Help me.
He's a good guy.
Yeah.
Brett. He played in the Masters. Brad Dalkey.
Yeah. So it just seems like there has to be still a connection to good golf. You can't just throw out people who like spin records for a living or play video games for people on the internet. That's kind of what they had in that Arizona event. I just don't see that being a future or having a future, people being interested in watching them.
Oh, I know what you're talking about now. Tristan Jazz, he's a basketball influencer. I watch him. I think he played in that. I remember what you're talking about.
There was a video game guy that played in it.
Yeah.
They're trying to appeal to the common guy that's out there that, to see the struggles of the influencer, Andy.
Well, Andy's an influencer. He's a TikTok god.
He is.
That's right.
Didn't you pull off that hitting a draw and a fade and having them hit each other?
Golf balls connected midair?
No, it's never happened. And I semi-retired from TikTok.
Oh.
We want you back.
I got too many 6 foot tall, round-eyed Chinese girls that started following me, so I had to back off.
I could make some good AI videos of you and get you back up there.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was BE's videos. Those were funny that you shared. You had me going on the Open Championship one.
Yeah, exactly.
So the behind the scene joke is that BE is like the master of Canva.
That's that Sora. Maybe that's something we could talk about too. But
AI. I mean, if you want to talk about AI, first of all, it's scary that Elon is saying that AI is learning faster than they ever had hoped for. We are in Terminator days, yes, and I'm not wearing the foil on my hat. I'm just saying.
Well, there was on that Bryson and this Steph Curry video. They broke down. It was Sportsbox. Sportsbox broke down Steph's swing, and they've got some AI thing on there now where it analyzes it and kind of what did they call it? Roasting. They're roasting the golfer, so they're kind of making fun of them, but at the same time pointing out things that they should be working on. I mean, the idea of pointing a camera at somebody and giving them everything that they need to work on, that's just insanity. But it'll never replace the golf pro. So I'm not worried about AI for what Bobby and I do with giving lessons and stuff.
I was just really pleased. I modified my personal website this week, and I threw it into AI, and I look much younger.
I thought you were going to say you put your Sportsbox avatar up there.
What? Why do you have to go back there? I've moved on from that, Andy. I have moved on.
That's fair. That's fair. We can all move on.
No, I really can't. I can't because I have no shoulder turn. I've actually literally given up the game at this point because of the lack of shoulder turn.
I'll give you shoulder turn. I'll make a video for you. Make you look like John Daly.
John Daly.
Speaking of shoulder turn, how about this kid who won in Utah this week?
Michael Brennan from Leesburg grew up playing in Leesburg, Virginia at River Creek, and they were rocking in the grill room there.
Yep.
I mean,
that was really cool.
Just out there hitting 400-yard tee balls.
Do you want a quick trivia?
Yeah.
Here we go.
He's the
Wait a minute. Hang on. You didn't throw. You didn't.
Hey, the executive producer or the whatever you call him, the guy in the van, he's got to be ready for this stuff.
You gotta warn me if you're going there.
Where's my baseball? I thrown it tight.
I don't know. But I'm hitting the gong right now on it.
I can't hear it. Well,
all right, go ahead, trivia guy.
So the quickie trivia thing was Michael Brennan wins the Bank of Utah Championship in his third start. There's only been 7. Well, I shouldn't even say it. No, I just screwed it up. I was going to say how many PGA Tour players since 1970 have
7.
won? Wow, you are so wicked smart.
Dang, it's like you almost knew what you were going to say.
Cannot fool you, Andy.
You can't fool me.
He's wicked smart.
Okay, this is Jeopardy. We give the answer and then we tell the question.
This is a good case for why the fall events are so important, and why I really think the PGA Tour did a disservice to guys like him by cutting it 25 spots to get your card next year. I mean, I understand, and we've talked about this before, the thinking behind it about maybe pace of play in there a little bit and some other things, but I just don't see it being a good fix for anything going forward. There's so many good players out there that deserve a shot. Like we could have never heard of this kid before, but he got a sponsor's exemption and made it work, and here we are. We got a new cult hero just like that.
Yeah, like the week before, his plans for the week were to be in Canada, being on a par 3, like our friend Nagar, hitting shots on a par 3 for a corporate outing, and it's like you go from that inside a week to being a PGA Tour winner. Yeah, to your point, Brendan, it's not like, oh wow, that's such a crazy, bizarre circumstance. it's more to the point of there's guys out there just waiting for an opportunity.
It screams of the John all the way back to Daly, driving through the night to get to Carmel. I mean, it's that type of situation.
He was 681 in the
Trivia
world
question.
of the year.
How did Daly get in the PGA Championship?
Nick Price withdrew.
Nick Price.
For what reason?
Because Squeaky didn't want to be on his back that week.
This is a multi-part trivia question. Because his son was being born.
Right.
And Squeaky then caddied for John Daly.
And what was the phrase that he told him before every drive?
Just kill it.
Yep. Good times.
Yeah. Good times.
Good times.
Yeah. I don't have that. I don't have that anymore. 69-degree shoulder turn.
I want to make one mention. Brendan's comment about pace of play, and everything I've read, everything I want to say I interpret is a bit of a fallacy on this pace of play thing, reducing. There's other things going on there, but I will say, I know I was going to save this maybe to the 18th hole, where I was last week at the PGA Junior League 17U Championship, and I will admit, if these kids look up to the tour players, we all looked up to tour players when we were young. You just do that in your sport. Other sports, I wanted to be Kari Sremski. I wanted to be Freddie Lynn and all that. Bobby Orr, pipe dream there. But, then kids in golf, what I saw out in New Mexico this weekend, it's very deliberate. It's very comical. It's just excruciating, the pre-shot routines, the walking up 100 yards to the green to look at it, to come all the way back. If you hit a great shot, okay, maybe, but there's so much going on with these kids and pace of play. It's scaring me.
Aim point from like a foot and a half.
Yep.
Bobby, and Andy, would you guys agree? I think it's not so much that they're doing routines, because I stress a routine with my guys, but it's when they start the routine. That's where I think the problem is. Like, this idea of ready golf is something that we should really, really push. If you're not in anybody's way, you should be ready to go as soon as whoever's hitting before you's ball's in the air. You should be ready to go. That's what I stress with my kids, is do your routine, but don't wait so the guy who's hitting before you is done with theirs. That's where I think the waste of time is.
Yeah, I would totally agree with that. I think, to me, though, the biggest problem is, and Bobby, you just mentioned it, it's the emulation of the superstars, right? If I'm a kid and I see Alan DePew out there with a greens book and he's the best putter we know, I'm going to get a greens book. If I see Bob Baldessari out there, doing aim point, I'm doing aim point. If I see Brendan out there, and these are my three favorite players, if I see Brendan out there has a steadfast, strict routine on every shot, I'm doing that. The problem is you start taking pieces of everything and you add it all up together, and you've got the problem. Is too much going on, and you can't say that Brendan Elliott's routine is so good. There's no reason you shouldn't have a routine as good as Brendan's. Alan's green book, interpretation is so good. There's no reason you shouldn't do that. And Bob's aim point is so good. Like, you just can't. There's no end to it. And everything together makes for just a really big problem.
There's aim pointing on tap-ins. You're right. And I did see a lot of that, Brendan, where the kids are up by the green, the other kids are back hitting, and then these kids by the green will wait till the kids hit, then they walk all the way back. And I'm like, oh my God, you're not prepared. Just exactly. I had say to a bunch of kids, we need to play ready golf. I'm not even sure what that means, that term. And
right.
We go all over the place here, but some people just really do get paralyzed by, I'm all about the routine. And I always tell everybody, if it's 7 seconds when you're playing on a Saturday with your buddies, make it 7 seconds for most of most important shot of your life. Don't make it 17, 27 seconds. You're out of your routine. But it's a little bit crazy what I saw out there. What was the other comment I was going to make? It was, just situational awareness, how they're playing. And I know they're kids and they're going to get better. But some of it just takes too long. The pace, it's just going to get worse as these kids, a lot of them were really good. They're going to get into AJGA. Oh, I know what it was. So I always made this bit of an analogy. You get NBA players that do a turnaround fall away with 3 guys on it, and they make that shot a lot. They're at the free throw line.
And they can't make it.
You can't make it. And
Yeah.
so there is something I like with my students to be just a little more of a flow, a little more of a kind of sevy, kind of, there's a little bit of movement, and then you're hitting a shot versus just being so static and concrete. And then all of a sudden there's some sort of move, if you know where I'm going.
Yeah, being reactive and instead of, being so deliberate and so purposeful about everything. I mean, again, we reference Stephen Yellen a lot,
Right.
but this is where Stephen's, whole take on the prefrontal cortex, should be out of the way. And the prefrontal cortex is what makes people be so just deliberate and so intentional about everything that they do.
But I do have some good news about this PGA Junior League 17U Championship. So happy to share a little recap when the time is right.
Lay it on us, Bobby.
Oh,
bring it right in. Well, and if I hear anything today, if I see Andy, you need a little ruling. Okay. I'll be looking at you, dude.
Okay.
What is that, a license plate?
This one on my golf cart. So when I pulled up, I was bringing the fear.
Part of the cart up on. Yeah.
I
Nice.
was bringing the intimidation factor as I pulled up with my earpiece. But here's the good stuff. I mean, I was part of the team that started Junior League at PGA of America back in 2011, 2012. We have the 13 under. That was initially what's the big thing. And I think I told a lot of people this. I think it was in my 3rd meeting, and I thought we needed a safety net. And that was my term, safety net for youth golf. If you make it in high school, so 14 to 17, if you don't make the golf team, it's, hey, Andy, we'll see you next year. And you drift out of golf. So I was huge to get this next division going. It's been around for 5 years now. There's 12,000 kids doing it, which is good. So this is a national championship. There's 12 teams. Each team has 8 kids. They have local, state. You get your regional qualifying. So you have 12 teams from around the country. They do qualifying the first couple of days. It goes down to the final 4. So we have final 4 teams. I should remember this: Illinois, Texas, Florida, and Utah. And so it came down to Illinois and Texas. And Illinois, coached by my good friend Kevin Weeks, teacher of the year at PGA. Great guy, real funny guy. So Kevin's and he's been in this finals thing a few times. So it was great to see him in there. Clayton Pendergraph is the other PGA member, assistant coach. They do a great job. So it comes down to the semifinals. Both semifinals finished tied. First time ever. Both had to go to a match of cards playoff. That was pretty cool. The championship match was tied at the end. They had to go to a playoff. It was very, very exciting. So you take the 2 players from each team. First round, they par. Send the next 2 on each team. 2 birdies. Then par. The sun started to set, and we're around the green, and there's a lot of people there, and we're thinking, holy cow, somebody make a birdie. We want to end this thing. So in the final twosomes that go out there, kudos. We're talking about pre-shot routine, wanting to putt under the gun. And so this young lady, Kennedy Gutierrez, she makes about an 18-footer down the hill, turning left, knocks it in to win the whole thing. So it was really, really great. It was very exciting. But this 17U, the whole event has a different culture and a different vibe than the 13U. And I think because the 13's on ESPN, Brendan, you're a coach in the both sides, you get it. I wanted to get your comments on this too. The 17U kids, the 14 to 17, I saw more camaraderie. I have some video. 2 different teams going into this final match. they're playing football on the tee. And I'm thinking, oh, one of the kids doesn't get hurt. But it's very, very refreshing. Yes, the pace of players drive me crazy, but I just really, really applaud all these coaches that have the kids are in the right mindset. The parents have the right mindset. There's a ton of cheering going on both sides. So it was a real pleasure to be there and take that in.
Before you answer that, clearly there would have been another player in the name in the envelope, right, Bobby? We're just
we hope we don't get there one year. Yeah.
Okay, go ahead, B.
The coolest thing about PGA Junior League, I think, is what you're talking about, that sense of community that it builds, and the spin-off program, with the family golf.
Right.
That was something that I thought was inevitable, even 6-7 years ago before it even really started. You've got so many families, moms, dads, grandparents, younger siblings, older siblings, all out there watching it. And like you said, throwing a football around or walking around in their flip-flops. And it's, to me, it's like what golf is supposed to be, those late fall afternoons and everybody out there hanging out. And then that family golf spinoff, I don't know if you've worked any of those, but that would be really cool to see that too, to see what that's all about. I think the last championship was down here. I think it was at Disney last year. But it's a great program. We had our high school, the team I help out, had our district championship today. And I haven't been to a district championship in years. And I was really pleased to see that same sense of community with like the parents from the different schools and how everybody's complimentary to each other and clapping for good shots. Like, man, I remember back when I first started coaching back in the early 2000s, it was still kind of cutthroat, and it did not seem like that at all today. Not at all. And I think there's some programs really starting to embrace having a program per se, instead of just the math teacher, being the coach and driving the bus. And I got to give a shout out to Rob Robinson, who's the coach at Winter Park. He's been there for 14 years. We won the districts today. That's his first district championship since 2020, but that's his 7th one in 14 years. He's won 2 regionals. We'll try to get that next week. And he ultimately wants to recapture the 2018 state championship that he won. So he runs a phenomenal program. And there's a lot of more coaches I'm seeing, at least in our area, that's doing the same type of thing.
That's awesome.
Great stuff.
Yeah. I think
our junior program, Riley Plitz, shout out to her. I mean, the PGA Junior program she runs is amazing. And there's a lot of good programs throughout the Garden State and New Jersey and what have you. So it's good to see, obviously.
There's a lot of good youth golf going on. There's probably never been a better, well, here's my take. I don't think there's ever been a better time for equipment, instruction, coaching, tutoring, mentoring, opportunities. There's a ton of stuff out there. But when you don't have the TV cameras there and the towers and Steve Sands, that these little kids, 13 under, that's a lot of pressure on them. But it was really, really neat to see what I saw this last weekend in New Mexico.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's awesome.
So we're going to move from that, because I got to throw this up there right now, and then I got to bounce back over to here, and now I can put this up. I inadvertently threw up the drink mixers when we're talking junior golf. Kind of a bad move on my part.
It's time for a
sorry, kids.
Hibiscus ginger beer.
Shirley Temple.
Yeah.
Shirley Temple.
So I want to throw it up there before you go, Andy. DJ re-ups his contract with L.A.B. That's probably the big news.
Okay, so yes, it is the big news. But this is how dirty media is, right? So Golf Digest, I believe, or golf.com posted the story, and they headlined it as DJ resigns from L.A.B. Not RE-signs.
Oh.
But so they put it to a red resigns instead of resigns, so they would get clicks. How dirty is that?
Slim Shady.
That's an infraction.
Throw a flag.
4 shots.
That is
4 shots.
It's 15-yard penalty right there.
Oh, wait a minute. Dude, you knocked out 2 things in one. They're the don't be that guy.
Don't be that media guy.
Don't be that media guy.
I mean, look, there's so much, and our friend Brendan Elliott is a huge part of all of this media that's out there. The competitiveness for eyeballs and clicks and interactions is just off the charts. And way more about it than I do, Brendan, but it just as you read your feed, it's just amazing to see what people go through to get people to click on their story. And
I get crushed on Athlon. I get crushed by the people that do I can't remember what they call them specifically. It's a team that does the quick stories, the headlines, the attention grabbing. And I just refuse to do that. And I get paid by clicks, but I don't want to write that. I don't want to write that way.
But there's look, I'm sure you're looking at it ethically. Like, you want to make sure that you're not participating in the dirty part of the media in the writing that you do. But then again, you're probably kind of missing out a little bit by not dipping your foot in that pool a little bit,
Well, I tell you this past week I played around with like keywords and who I wrote about, and I intentionally wrote 2 stories about Tiger. One about all his elements and all the surgeries, and then I did another one about the potential of a comeback, the worst case scenario, best case scenario, most likely scenario. Of course, those are at the top this month. Those got the most clicks, and all I did was put Tiger in the headline.
Yeah.
But if there's nothing to write about Tiger Woods, there's people still putting Tiger in the headlines.
But think about that. So nobody's talking about a Tiger comeback. You write a story contemplating a Tiger comeback, and people are going to break their fingernails running to go click on that. Mm-hmm. It's just, that's the way it works, right?
Yep.
Think we see him this year inside?
I don't even know what his deal is. Brendan, what's the deal with him right now?
It's with the back fusion or the back surgery procedure, whatever you want to call it. It's still the Achilles that'll probably keep him sidelined until next spring, not the back surgery. The back procedure, I don't want to call it surgery. That was just more of a maintenance thing to relieve a little bit of pressure, and he should be good to go within a couple weeks. But it's the Achilles that, from what I understand, where there's still problems. And I don't know. I really don't think. I'm hopeful because I'm a Tiger fan, but I think best case scenario is he plays majors when he can, makes a cut here or there, maybe the Genesis, maybe the Hero, and the PNC, and that's all we'll see of him. I don't think he'll ever tee it up on Champions Tour.
You know what? I am with you on that. Now, do I think he might play a major or 2? Maybe, yeah. U.S.
Senior Open. Yeah.
Yes. Agreed.
But you hear people talk about, is Tiger gonna grace us with his presence out on the Champions Tour? No chance.
Then you look at this thing with Michael Jordan, where they tried to get you to think that he was going to be in the booth when he was just doing that interview with Mike Tirico.
Yeah.
And people were falling all over the place that they're going to get a taste of Jordan again, which would have been so cool to see him on commentary in the NBA. I mean, I would have actually started watching religiously again, but could Tiger have a position there? I know he does course design and his foundation and TGL and stuff like that. So we'll always see him, but I love when he talks at his events, when he's up there talking to the guys. It's very compelling, I think.
He turns 50 on December 30th, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, I hear people talk. I heard Rocco on his show on Sirius talking about, Tiger being out there. No chance.
Nope.
Like, first of all, his ego's too big to ever do that. And second of all, I think, and this plays into the ego thing a little bit too, is that he's just not well. And those two things together, nope, not going to happen.
Speaking of the Champions Tour, I think there have been their own issues as far as plateauing and starting to go back.
Yep.
So they would love to have Tiger out there. I think he would rescue it like Arnie did, but I don't see it. I agree. And I think they've got some pretty big issues as far as trying to keep that tour going.
Yeah, agreed.
Yeah, but let's talk about that a little bit. Is it just fatigue by the golf world, the golf consumers, that they don't care anymore? I mean, like I have this opinion that when the senior tour first happened, you brought a bunch of people out that you hadn't seen play in a while. They didn't have all these fall events where the old guys get in.
Right.
So, you had guys that were on the shelf for a while that now had a place to play. And while that's still a little bit of the case, I mean, with golf being a year-round deal now, I just don't think that dynamic and that attractiveness of that tour is part of the lure anymore. I don't think it is. So you end up getting guys who, for all intents and purposes, the guys that stay in good physical condition, the Stephen Alkers and the, Bernard Langers and guys like that. But it becomes a physical fitness contest more than anything.
Andy, you have just described live golf.
In what sense?
It's the guys that are on the shelf, past their time.
Yeah.
Limited schedule. It's live golf. That's all I ever viewed the Champions Tour as. It was that they were the guys. They made their money. They were out there for the fun. Everybody talked about how engaging they were with the fan base. It was live before live.
Yeah. Yeah. And you're right. Live is just another example of why the Champions Tour isn't all that compelling.
Right. Because there's a couple of players on there that are relevant still.
Yeah.
And the only people
I think that's could be.
I was just going to say real quick that the only people that the Champions Tour really appeals to is people my age and older, because it's the guys we watched when we were kids. And I still love watching, even Freddie doesn't play that much, but I love, reminiscing Fred Funk and Furyk, and like Furyk's event's a great example because he gets all those guys together that I watched as a kid, and it's just nostalgia. That's all it really is, I think.
Yeah. I agree.
Good comment by Andy as far as when it started. Like a lot of things, you get that scarcity. It's special, and then there's 4 majors. They're special, and then the tours come along. A lot of great players. They can play golf. There's no doubt. But there's a lot of events. You get a lot of guys you never really heard about. They're just making some money out there. It just seems like it's lost something. I know they struggle to get people out there. They kind of give away a lot of tickets. So I don't know. I hope it keeps going. I just think they're going through some sort of phase here.
I don't know what the solution is.
You have them play alongside the PGA Tour. Somehow you configure it that way, and they make the same stops. They play maybe the Pro-Am days. They do 3-day events or something. But just have it all. So I don't know financially if that would be a right call, but everybody's housed together. So unfortunately, you could probably cut down on payroll if you just have everybody the same week from the regular tour and the champions together. It's just one of the ideas.
They struggle for a large part of the year. They struggle with daylight, you know?
Oh, true. Yeah.
Yeah, I got it. Now the tour has 100 players. You just have 100 players on the Champions Tour, and you do an 8 a.m. and a 1 p.m. shotgun start.
With shorts and music.
Hot dogs, sausages, and peppers at the turn. We
did that all the time at our clubs. You know,
under the tent, you could have like for both groups having their lunch together.
Yeah.
Oh wait, you could do a shotgun. Play some music. I don't know. Just throwing it out. Spitballing here.
Make teams.
Okay, I'm going to intentionally go to here a little early. Okay, we still got plenty of time here, boys. And I'm going to start it off because I've failed epically. Andy's going to yell at me. He yelled at me about my shoulder turn, about my in the booth working the control panel. But you'll notice the title for today's show, because I set it up this way, was From Lab to the Links. And that's because we were supposed to have a guest panelist with us today. So instead, I'm going to set the stage and have Bobby talk about that for a second. This is my final thought. I'm throwing it to Bobby. We're going to set the stage, hopefully, for next week due to a last-minute scheduling conflict. So, Bobby, please share with us.
Oh, little, golf like in life, you have the bad bounce or whatever. So we had a little snafu on the scheduling. But we do have CEO of L.A.B Golf, Sam Hahn, coming on with us. We're trying to get him for next week. We will have him absolutely positively. Would have been a lot of fun to get our buddy Bill Presley to come on, who was the inventor, to have Bill and Sam. I don't know if we can get that work. Where in the world is Bill? He's traveling a lot. So, but we will have that put together, and it's going to be great with Sam. He's awesome.
Why don't you just keep going? Your final thought.
Oh, I'm going on a roll. Well,
yeah,
I saw something this week, Greg. Two thoughts. I didn't get a chance to read it, but I think about it. We were talking about pre-shot routines and things like that, and you see certain routines with players that are basically superstitions. So, I know my wife thinks I'm really crazy because some of the stuff I do, and I know we're all crazy as golfers. And if I'm making some putts, I leave my glove in a certain thing, and I do my thing, and I got the coin. I think we all do these superstitions, but at the end of the day, if it helps you feel confident, great. I'm not afraid to break a superstition, but I think for probably 40 years, I mark my ball a certain way with the coin when I'm putting for birdie, and I mark it a certain way when it's a par putt. And I do little things like that. My head cover goes the same spot every drive for 40-something years. But I think it's just one of the neat things about golf. I know Wade Boggs had chicken before every game. I mean, there's these routines that are a little crazy. So if you have a routine, that's good. Pre-shot routines are great. Just try not to have them go for like 3 minutes. And then the other note is just I think we all have some friends in the golf industry. I know I have a few down in Jamaica, so I hope they make it through that really, really bad storm. That Hurricane Melissa is just devastating. So think about everybody that we know in the golf industry down there in Jamaica.
Mr. Hydorn.
Let Brendan go first.
No, Brendan wants to. He's got game tonight.
I'll go. That's fine.
All right.
I just don't want to steal.
So I had to write this one down. With me writing more and more, some of the websites allow comments from people who think they know things about golf. And I've learned not to read that stuff, but every now and again, because I get email notifications that someone commented on your article. And every now and again, I'll read one. But I've noticed it's not just there. It's on social media, really bad. It's in all media. So I wrote down this public service announcement to fans of the game. If you're not paid to play the game, watch carefully those who are. If you're not paid to coach, teach, or talk about golf, you should listen to those who are. And if you're not paid to write about the game, you should read the words of people who are. Thank you.
Bueno.
Very nice.
Okay, I have two quick topics. I think most of the people who pay attention to golf on social media saw that Barstool Beef, Cody Frankie, passed away this week, and I'd be shocked if he was more than 35 years old. And he was a big hulking guy that was carrying around a lot of extra weight. And I just think it's sad that somebody that young, and if you ever watched him, he was such a nice person and such a respectful guy that it's just an awful tragedy that someone like that, would go at this young of an age. And I think the golf world is definitely worse off today because he's gone. I'm going to make one other quick point that we didn't really talk about. I don't know if you guys have seen any pictures from Kapalua, where they play the Tournament of Champions. There's a real issue going on out there that they're having with water. And the golf course is dying. If you get a chance, Google it and look at it. It's maybe to the point where it might not be recoverable.
I was going to say, I think it's DOA.
Virginia. Yeah. And that's a huge deal. I mean, Kapalua that's one of the great venues on the PGA Tour.
Yep.
So yeah, a couple of downer last thoughts for me. So you're welcome.
Thanks, Andy.
Yeah.
And with that, we will see everyone next week. I did actually get a little text message. It kind of blends right in there. Final thoughts from Christian Nizamis. A little man's our little cadet small is on the road. Says, take care of your loved ones. Check in on them. Make sure they're okay. You're never alone. Until next week, guys.
You only have one opportunity to sell your golf property. Shouldn't you partner with an expert that offers you 30 plus years of golf industry experience combined with the reach of a global leader in real estate? Colliers International Golf Brokerage and Advisory Services understands your unique business needs. Whether it is brokerage, management, and consulting, be reassured that the market leader in the business of golf is providing you the real answers and practical solutions you deserve. Contact Golf Talk Live co-host and Colliers Golf Advisory Services member Alan Depew today at 717-554-8519. That's 717-554-8519.